Welcome to AdaptN. In this video, we'll cover setting up fields using shapefiles, creating zones, entering soil and crop information, and adding irrigation and nitrogen applications. To create a field in AdaptN by dragging and dropping a shapefile, locate the shapefiles for a single field on your computer and create a zip file from them. There should be at a minimum a DBF, SHP, and SHX file in the zip. Once the zip file is created, drag and drop it into the AdaptN tool in your browser over the drop zone for drop a shapefile. Once the field is imported into the system, either assign it to an existing farm or create a new farm, and then assign the field a name. Click Submit. You now see your new field located on the map associated with your farm. Every field in AdaptN needs one or more zones. Create your first zone by clicking the Add Zone link in the field list. Click anywhere outside that field to drop a pin, and then drag that pin into your field for the desired zone location. Assign the zone a name, estimate the number of acres that zone represents, and configure the remaining options for slope, artificial drainage, and soil texture or specific soil series information. For rooting depth, you can either use the default value associated with that soil type, texture, and drainage type, or choose a specific value. Click Add Zone to complete the operation. To complete a second zone, repeat that process. As you're looking at the Fields and Zones list, you can use the toggle icon next to each field name to expand and collapse its zones. Once you've configured your zones, click on the soil icon to complete the soil configuration for them. Select your tillage method and system and apply the appropriate configurations. Input your soil test information. This is an important part of AdaptN, and we recommend that all fields have a soil test conducted within the last 3 years. In this example, I'm assuming a 6-inch soil sample depth and a 3.5% organic matter. Let's assume that this applies to both of the zones I just created. Using the bulk editing tray on the right, I can select field 1 to make this apply to both zones, and then click Submit. We can see feedback indicating that those changes were made, and we can click anywhere on the screen to continue. The next step in the process is to enter the crop information for the current season. Click the crop icon on the left navigation bar. First, select your cultivar type. If you're using grain corn, this will be the maturity class. There are also separate options for sweet corn and silage corn in different regions. I'll select 101-day corn for this example. Enter your expected yield. We recommend using the second best yield that this field has demonstrated for this crop in the last 5 years. I'll select 150 to 170 bushels per acre. Enter your planting date. If you haven't yet planted, you can either put in your expected planting date and adjust it later, or complete the entire crop step at another time. Enter your planting density based on how many plants per acre you've put down. If you're doing variable rate planting, you can either take the average for the field or set up separate zones for the different planting densities throughout the field. I'll select 30,000. For previous crop, indicate what was last planted on this field. If you select sod, which would be a hay crop, you'll also need to enter the sod termination date, legume percent, and sod termination method. For the other options, simply select that crop, and in this case, I'll choose soybean. Again, use the bulk editing tray on the right to select all the fields, zones, or even farms to which these configurations apply, and then click the Submit button. During the season, as you apply nitrogen, manure, and irrigation to your fields, Click the Applications icon in the left navigation bar to enter this information into Adapt2N. After you click the icon, select which application type you'd like to enter. In this example, I'll select irrigation. Specify the application date and then the inches of water applied. Use the bulk editing tray on the right to select all of the fields, zones, or farms to which this application should apply and click the Add button. We can repeat this process as many times as we'd like. Or go back to the Applications icon to enter another type of application. In the nitrogen example, you'll notice that a variety of additional options display, including our application type of pre-plant, meaning applications prior to planting, starter, which is nitrogen applied with the seed, or side dress for applications made after planting. Select your application date, the type of fertilizer used, the pounds per acre of that fertilizer applied, and the placement depth of that fertilizer. Using the bulk editing tray, check the farms, fields, or zones to which this nitrogen application should apply and click the Add button. Access additional resources by visiting help.adaptn.com.